Should you always tell your new significant other about your past, especially if you're ashamed?
Absolutely not. You should always put a positive spin because, quite frankly, the older you get, the negative charge tends to fall away. You tend to take a more spiritually enlightened perspective. You learn to laugh at yourself. Hey, man, when you're young and dumb, everybody's going to make mistakes. And the goal is, as you've gotten older, have you gotten better? And if you're getting better and you don't take yourself so seriously, then you shouldn't be butthurt over it. But a lot of guys make the mistake, especially I'm sure you girls probably can attest to this. You go out on a first date and all the dude does is talk about himself, get all his baggage out, tell you all the things that went sideways in his life or went wrong or just everything about himself. And hardly you did hardly any talking. Almost like he's there kind of reading his resume saying, "Hey, here's my qualifications to date you," or whatever. And then after that, you're like,
No, yeah,
no dice, no second date.
It's definitely just something that once you have a feel and you're comfortable for to that person, all that stuff
But you've met
eventually will
guys,
come
been on
out.
dates with guys that are like that. They just start talking right away about everything,
Yeah.
or they tell you their whole past. And especially if it's bad or they're ashamed of it, it's not the kind of thing you're gonna, oh wow, I really like this person more. You just start thinking, man, they're really screwed up. I think I'm gonna hard pass on that.
Because
Yeah.
you're not in that level yet.
I mean, I don't know if I'd go as far as like, damn, they're really screwed, like in the brain, but I'd probably
It's not something you
think
share
twice
at first.
about wanting to go on like an intimate like date with them again. I'd be like, oh, hey, maybe we should be friends so I could show you on a different path to help and guide yourself to be better. Because I want to.
She becomes
Just
your coach, your therapist,
care about
your mommy.
Well, no guy wants to hear about if they're the girl that they like past relationships especially if it involves like a sensual time, like because then they get that.
Well, you do want to hear about if she starts talking about being cheated on or cheating on people that she dated, because you're really trying to assess as quickly as possible is this person honest? Do they have integrity, or are they a dirtbag? Because a big problem a lot of guys have is they get involved with these women that are just ratchets. And like I talked to one the other night, and it's just, man, the guys are nice, and this particular dude lives in a blue state, and his wife wants to divorce him. And it was interesting. It's like she's very manipulative, and so she's got all the members of his family and her family, and she's having conversations with them, and meanwhile she acts as if, no, I haven't spoken to them. And then next thing you know, law enforcement's involved, and it's like a lot of legal problems just got created. And it's guys don't see it coming, so it's like it can be really dangerous who you get into relationship with. So you got to vet people properly, and a lot of guys project their fantasy and they ignore those kind of crazy red flags that come up. But I say a lot, it's like if you act like a bitch, women are going to treat you like a bitch. And if you're in a relationship with a bad girl, and you act like a bitch, not only will she treat you like a bitch, but she will dominate you, use you, abuse you, toss you aside, use lawfare, sneak attacks, clean out your bank account, take all your money, and then serve you with divorce papers, and then your cash is all gone because she took it and put it in her own accounts. Those things happen, man. And I talk to dudes all the time where stuff like that is going on. So you always got to know your downside risk, and got to be careful out there, because some fish do not mix well in the same aquarium. As I talk about in 3% Man, if it's not positive, it's not going to make you look more attractive, more desirable to her, more capable, confident, competent in her eyes. Keep it to yourself. And if it's something that went sideways, just said, hey, I've been blessed with the different girlfriends I've had, the ex-wives or ex-wife, whatever that I've had in my life, and they made me the man I am today. And it's like I got no regrets in life, and it's been a hell of a ride, and I'm excited about what's going to happen tomorrow. And hey, don't you look pretty cute in that blue dress?
Also, don't come off too strong either. That's
What
very
does that mean? Don't come off too strong.
like don't be like very overbearing to the point where like you tell all your stories and it's so much that like the
There's
girl
nothing
gets
mysterious
overwhelmed.
about the guy.
Yeah, exactly. Like you kind of have to let that,
Don't be an open book.
yeah, let that be slowly but surely kind of thing.
Yeah. So what the other thing is I teach in my book, and I mean these are basic rapport building techniques. If you're in sales, you typically know this stuff, but if you're on a date with a woman, she should be doing 80-90% of the talking, and you be asking questions, because typically women say about, I think it's like 8,000 words a day. Us guys tend to say around 2,000 words. And if you can just facilitate her talking, because a lot of guys worry about, when I go out on dates, what am I going to say? How am I going to entertain her? It's like, you don't. Be fascinated by her. What would you want to know about her? You know, ask her the kind of questions she would enjoy answering, and let her do most of the talking. She'll make it easy to talk to about anything and everything. And at the end of the day, that creates rapport. And if the girl already thinks you're cute and she feels heard and understood, and like, yeah, and then she'll be feeling like she's got all this chemistry, then you follow the strategy of going typically 2 to 3 different places, 2 to 3 different venues, and when you're kissing each other and holding each other and touching each other and it's pretty frisky, that's when you can use the trial close, as we call in sales, and invite her back to your place to hang out, have fun, and hook up. The other caveat is, if she's doing most of the talking, then she doesn't really hear much from you, and then you remain mysterious. And women like mysterious guys, and they're curious like cats. And so if you're an open book and all you do is do all the talking, you're probably not going to get a second date, because number one, she's going to think you're selfish because you did all the talking, and number two, probably going to think you brag, and number three, that you're probably insecure, and number four, that there's why go out? She already knows everything about you. That sounds pretty boring.